right, y'all. Looks like we are live. I am tired. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Tina. Rainy Ridge. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you now, it's probably a short live tonight. I have been having stomach issues for the past 2 or 3 days. The heat is getting to me. It doesn't matter um, about my medications that I take for my stomach. I can take them and nothing's working. So, if I have to get up and run, I apologize ahead of time. But it's one of those situations to where the heat between the heat and what little bit I do eat, my stomach is just out of it. At home with Tom and Rhonda. Hello, welcome in.
I'm Rhonda. Ready, Rick.
Yep, and Teresa Jukowitz is in there.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just giving everybody a heads up. There won't be any trivia tonight. Hey, Tish. Listening while feeding the dogs. I hope the dogs are doing good. I would, Teresa, but I like to do my lives when I can, and I've had to shut down so many of them. I told Piggy I'd probably only go about 30 minutes tonight. I just, it's rough. I was up and down all night last night in the bathroom, and it just, I hate being crude and gross about that, but life is life, and things happen. And I try to avoid greasy foods. I try to avoid anything extremely oily. I've cut out mayonnaise. I've cut out a lot of fried foods. Um, Anything that contains a lot of oils, I have cut out. Tilt that down just a touch. Um, I don't do a lot of milk products anymore. And I just, I've cut out so much that I don't know what to eat. I really don't know what to eat. Um, I take my ox bile for my system since I don't have a gallbladder. I take a enzyme. Hey, Mama Linda, how are you, darling?
Mama Linda.
I've got a oh, I can't. It's like a probiotic enzyme I take for my stomach. Hey, Chris. Uh, so it's a case of what's green and red and goes 1,000 miles an hour. I have no idea. I would Teresa, but I can't do the milk product for it because I have turned lactose intolerant over the past few years. The only thing I can eat dairy wise really is cheese, and even that bothers me. I've cut back on my cheese so much that I only buy 2 blocks of cheese a month now. I lost my gallbladder in '92, and my appendix was taken out when they did my hysterectomy. Um, if you have problems with oily foods or fried foods or anything like that, then you would need to take something for the gallbladder gone. But I didn't start taking anything from my stomach for the gallbladder part of it until about 4 years ago. Now, taking account, I had my gallbladder taken out in '92, and I did okay. And then I realized I was having a lot of problems eating fried foods and things like that, and I got to checking into it, and it had to do with my gallbladder. Chris, frog in a blender. Yep, that'll be it right there, Chris. A frog in a blender would do it. Yeah, I would love to be able to eat yogurt, but it's just with a lactose basilicus. Okay. Yeah, I've got a friend who makes her own stuff like that. I just, I don't know. There's some things I can eat, and there's some I can't. Oh man. Yeah, yeah, Tracy. There's a lot of things too that it's like Piggy. He's allergic to stuff. As far as I know, other than just being lactose intolerant, I'm not really allergic to foods. I'm allergic to penicillin and latex, and I'm allergic to the Z pack that they give you for antibiotics. But other than that, I don't think I'm allergic to anything. I just have no tolerance for lactose anymore. Chris, working in the kitchen is all about chemistry. But let's see, what have Piggy and I done this week? We have taken the aunt back and forth all week except for Tuesday. Um, Found out Monday morning that she wasn't going to be going Tuesday. She had a doctor's appointment. Yeah, and then we took her Thursday morning, but we didn't have to pick her up Thursday afternoon. Yeah, I pretty much cut out so much. Now I do buy butter, but I use that mainly for Piggy. I don't eat a lot of butter anymore. I don't do any milk hardly anymore. Now, if I'm making cornbread or homemade biscuits, I will use buttermilk. But even that, I don't use a lot of. I don't drink milk anymore. Occasionally, I will eat cheese, but Piggy's my witness on this. When I used to buy cheese, I would buy 5 and 6 blocks of cheese, if not more, a month, and we would go through it before the end of the month. Now I can buy 2 blocks of cheese a month, and I barely go through it all. Tracy said, "Stop it! I don't eat bananas. I buy them for Piggy. I can't eat bananas. They give me heartburn, and that might be why. If it's related to the latex, yeah, then I can see that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I've cut out eating. I don't eat a lot of anything. I can see where some of the ingredients for latex would come from bananas. I hadn't even thought about that. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It really is. Trying to relearn what you can eat, what you can't eat. Um, I eat. What have I eat all week? I eat the taco salad I fixed. And I didn't even eat the whole thing. I only ate about half of my taco salad that night. Um, I've eaten soup from the local Chinese place a couple of times this week because it settled my stomach a little bit. And then trying to think, what else have I eaten this week? I ate an egg sandwich earlier and used scrambled eggs, and it didn't help any. Wow. Yeah, Chris, there's a lot of different things out there. I've been hearing a lot about this thing called H. pylori. It's supposed to be a stomach disorder, and you can take medication for it. If you've taken a lot of antibiotics, it can mess up your system. Oh wow! Now I can say that eating bananas and stuff, it doesn't uh, burn my mouth or anything, but I get severe heartburn from eating them. Now latex, uh, I don't. I get like red blotches if I have it near me too long or on my skin for too long. I get red blotches. Yeah, there's a lot of different foods out there that have a lot of the same um, chemical compounds. They're different, but they have a lot of the similarities, and they're in the same families in some instances. To where if you're allergic to one thing, you're not able to eat something else because of that. But yeah, it's been something else, I tell you. Like I said, this has been going on now for 3 days. It started when the weather got really, really hot for us because I think it was probably, I want to say it was Thursday morning that it started in on me. And Thursday evening, and then off and on all day yesterday, and then today. So that's why I told Piggy I probably wouldn't be on for very long tonight. I wanted to do trivia, and I didn't feel like it last night because I just when I have these bouts, it makes me so weak that I get dizzy and I nearly black out. If I don't sit down and rest, or if I don't lay down to allow my body to recuperate, it's like I will be standing up and I'll nearly black out. That's how bad it gets. So it, it bothers me. I hate it when it happens, but wow. I've got a friend who's allergic to shrimp. I think it's shellfish entirely, but shrimp mostly. I can't imagine being allergic to shrimp. That would just kill me. Chris, that's all I do is rest. I do what little bit I have to do around the house, do what I've got to do, and then I lay down and I rest and I rest. I'm so tired of resting, but then when I get up, it just makes it impossible to do anything. We go to the store and the grocery store, and be walking in the grocery store. I feel like a 90-year-old woman pushing my buggy around because I'm having to lean on it to be able to hold myself up. And I told Piggy, I said, it's ridiculous. I said, if I try to do more than one grocery store in a sitting, I can't do it anymore. I have to do one grocery store at a time.
I've told her that's how we'll do it.
Yeah, and I'm about to the point that I'm just going to swap and do all of my grocery shopping pretty much at one grocery store if I have to, because huh?
That the butcher shop.
Yeah, that in the butcher shop, because
That's what we've been doing lately.
yeah, I've been doing that for the past month and a half, 2 months, something like that. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, I'll get feeling better. This hits me pretty much every summer, where it just wears me down, and then toward fall when it starts cooling off again, my energy picks up. I have a little bit more stamina to where I can do things, but just trying to focus some days. I know a lot of y'all know what I talk about when I say brain fog. Oh, thank you, Melinda. All prayer is welcome. Believe me, it is. Allergic to the milk. Yep, that'll do it to you right there. So, I hate complaining, but I want people to understand why I might not be live or why my videos might be short or whatever. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that uh, things like this are going on, and I try to be upbeat about everything, try to push through, but sometimes you have to let everybody know what's going on so they understand, and I know a lot of you understand. So Tracy said I'm not eating bottom feeders. If we're talking about seafood or fish and things like that, the seafood is okay. I don't eat tilapia and things like that, but I will eat catfish on occasion. No, Chris, I don't need to move up north, darling. I just need more hair. I lived up in Kentucky, and I lived there for 15 years, and that was as far north as I need to go. Oh, Melinda, I'm so sorry, honey. Melinda lost her mama today at noon. Prayers for you and your family, Miss Melinda. Chris says, I can show you ice fishing. Well, the thing about that, Chris, is that if I'm in too cold of weather, my body shuts down. I was told about 20 years ago by my doctor at that time to avoid extreme cold and extreme heat. So that kind of limits what I can do and how I can do it. Oh, my Teresa, you cracked me up with that pillow fight. Katie Spirit, welcome in, darling. And hello right back at you. Well, Mama Linda, the thing about that is you got to have a lot of money to be able to afford two households, and that ain't going to work around here. Oh, my. But it will get better. I will get better. Good Lord watches over me, and He ain't going to put nothing more on me than what I can handle. And if He does, that means He's going to send me to the hospital, to the doctor, to get things checked out. And that might happen. And if it does, we'll keep everybody updated. Yeah, Teresa, most seafood is. But I got to tell you, the shrimp is really good. I like shrimp. Yep, they are garbage disposals. But you got to take into account, so are chickens. Chickens will eat anything. They are garbage disposals. Ah, I think we've all been in the mood, Kathy. But yeah, pigs are garbage disposals in their own way. Chickens are garbage disposals in their own way. Uh, Pig and I were talking about this the other night on that. That pigs and chickens.
The garbage and they turn it into something yummy.
Yeah. So knowing that, a lot of people eat pork, a lot of people eat chicken. To me, that's no different. To eat shrimp and things like that.
Hey, Spirit, how you doing? Hey, I understand being in a mood.
Yeah. I'm not big on oysters. I'll eat them, but I'm not big on them. I like clams. I like fried clams. I haven't had any in a long time because I can't eat a lot of fried foods, and that irritates me. But I will get better, y'all. It's just didn't want to completely cut out my video for today. Chris says chickens love rabbit pellet paper. Chickens like anything they can eat. Believe me. Piggy did not believe me when I told him that chickens will eat lizards and mice. And then he saw a video of chickens eating mice. And he understood. They do. They'll eat anything, won't they, Piggy? If it's food, chickens will eat anything.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. They will eat anything. They are actually probably one of the nastiest animals when it comes to eating food of any I've ever seen in my life. But chicken tastes good. You know, pigs are the same way pretty much. They will eat anything. They're chickens and pigs are carnivores. Well, actually, they're omnivores because they will eat meat and plants. Yeah, Linda. If it moves, chicken will eat it. Even if it don't move, they'll eat it. And yet, we raise chickens and things like that to eat. That's why I don't have a problem eating shrimp and stuff. Is because I know we have other things out there that are just as bad. Oh, bannies are rough. Yeah, when it comes to chickens, I don't care if they're bannies. I don't care if they're the regular size chickens. I don't care if they're the large leghorns. I don't care what they are. As long as it ain't moving, as in, you know, that kind of not moving, I can touch it, I can pluck it, I can clean it, do whatever I got to do to it. But you let that sucker move one step, and I can't touch it. That's for any bird. I can't do it. Oh man, bannies are mean. They're the best guard dogs you can have, though. You have a banny out in the yard, or a flock of bannies out in the yard. Anybody that ain't supposed to be there comes into your yard, you're going to know it. And so will the neighbors half mile down the road. I think I was 8 or 9 when I got bit by a goose, and I don't like geese either. Kathy, I've never had any, but I ain't gonna say no. I won't eat them. I don't know what they taste like. I ain't never tried them. There's a lot of things I've tried that I don't like, but would I try calf fries? Yeah, I probably would. I ain't gonna go out of my way to eat them, but I mean, if somebody offered them to me and they were, that's what they had, I wouldn't turn them down. But I wouldn't take a whole plate full of them either. I might take a bite of one. Johnny Small Pepper, hello, welcome in.
Johnny Small Pepper.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's a lot of things out there that, like I said, I've had to cut back on what I was eating and go to things and change the whole way I eat. I used to love to eat really spicy foods. Y'all know that from watching some of my videos. I love spicy foods. But I've had to cut back on what I eat because they irritate my stomach. Hey, you do what you have to do on that. No, okay, that ain't no making you weird right there. A lot of people have things they prefer over other things. Now, Chris, as far as saying you clobbered one with a shovel, I tell you about my granddaddy, my poppy. When he was little, he was the youngest of 4 kids. He had 3 older sisters, and his youngest sister was blind. And every time she would go out the door, they had this mean old rooster that would start chasing her and pecking her. And she couldn't see it coming. And Rooster did it one day. Poppy, every time he'd run the rooster off. Well, one day this rooster got a hold of his sister and pecked her bad. I mean, she was bloody. He said he grabbed that rooster by the neck. He broke its neck, and Rooster didn't bother his sister no more. Because when his daddy come home, want to know where his favorite rooster was. Poppy said, I killed him. So why'd you kill my rooster? And he told him what happened. He said, well, I guess we're having chicken and dumplings for supper tonight, ain't we? And my Poppy said he told him. He said, well, so that depends on what sister cooks for supper tonight. I guess he was talking about his oldest sister, Velma. He said, whatever she fixes, whether it's chicken and dumplings or fried chicken, said, we're going to have one or the other. Let's see.
Yeah, Chris, and I like both.
Love coconut and pineapple together. I like them on their own.
Ham cooked pineapple is just delicious.
Mm-hmm. Pineapple cake with coconut frosting or coconut icing.
Yeah.
Coconut pie. Oh, Lord, that sounds good. Well, see, a lot of people don't like the texture of something like that. And that's understandable. Yeah, Linda, I mean, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Now, taking account, my granddad was born back in 1918. And this happened probably in the 1920s when he was still young. Chris says an upside down cake. Yeah, those are good. I'm not a big fan of pineapple upside down cake, but I'll eat it. I like pineapple. I like the cherries. I'm just not big on the upside down cake. I don't know. I like grilled pineapple, and I like the pineapple with the ham steak. When you grill the ham steak, I like that. Personally, I'd just eat ham all day if I could. Oh yeah, Chris, prunes and dates are great. Love them. I love stuffed dates with wrapped in bacon and cooked. And I'll just eat prunes like they are, though I don't need them. And I can't eat them right now because of that. If I ate prunes right now, y'all'd never see me. I just had to make me a bed in the bathroom if I ate prunes. Some days I feel like I do that anyway. Oh, wait. I have to say, during the summertime, I prefer eating salads and with the lettuce and cabbage bothering my bother my stomach. It's hard to eat salads now. Oh, baked ham with pineapple and clove. Yes, that would be good.
Oh,
Stud that ham with cloves and do pineapple and the cherries. Oh yes.
you hurt me over there.
I'm going by what Chris is talking about here.
Still,
I had never made one with Jello, but my mama liked carrot raisin salad, and I've got a good carrot and raisin salad recipe that calls for crushed pineapple. That's really good.
y'all making her torture me over here.
Chris is Jello and carrot jug. That sounds good, Kathy. Baked ham with brown sugar and mustard. Yeah, that's a rough thing right there, Mama Linda. It really is. I I fixed that pot roast the other night. And it was good. I'm gonna try to do a video next week. Not sure if it's gonna be for Friday or for Monday. Probably for Monday because I'll do the video on Friday, which is the 4th of July, Independence Day. Celebrate our freedom. Yeah, Mama Linda, that's me and Piggy. There's only a few places we can eat at. And some that we could eat at, we can't eat at no more because my system has changed. But I plan on cooking on the grill. Probably the only time I cook on the grill this year because it's just so hot and having to go out on it. So I'm going to be doing a full cook. I'll do hamburgers and hot dogs. If I've got steak in there, I might do steak. I've got pork chops. I plan on cooking enough that I'll have enough for the weekend, so I don't have to cook anything all weekend pretty much. Oh, Chris, I do too. Oh, pig pickings, those would be good to go to. I tell you, I make a decent pot roast. I do. The best person, or I should say, the best pot roast in my family comes from my Aunt Shirley. She does the best pot roast with the roasted potatoes and carrots and onions and all that in it. Um, my mom made a decent pot roast, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to cooking pot roast, my Aunt Shirley is the best. And she is the one that's married to my mom's oldest brother. I think I could probably say, when it comes to certain things and certain foods, who does the best ones in my family. When it comes to potato salad, it's our little sis Bootsy. She makes the best potato salad of anybody in my family, next to my Aunt Shirley. Aunt Shirley makes a really great potato salad as well. Uh, when it came to coleslaw, I would have to say my Aunt Ruthie made the best coleslaw and baked beans of anybody in my family. Um, if it came to pies, cakes, anything sweet, my grandmother, hands down, I don't care. She could hold, I don't care what anybody else's tastes like, how good they are. My grandmother made the best. Um, just sitting there trying to think of different things. Um, Overall, cooking in my family, my grandmother. Don't get me wrong, my mom's a great cook. My Aunt Elsie's a great cook. My Aunt Ruthie was a great cook. My Aunt Shirley, she is an exceptional cook. Um, but when it comes to overall cooking throughout the family, my aunts, uncles, cousins, whatever, my grandmother, hands down. Uh, and to be compared to her when it comes to cooking, it's the highest compliment I can get. And my uncle did that one year. Uh, I had made macaroni and cheese and some other things for my mom's 60th birthday dinner. And my uncle made the comment that some of it reminded him of my granny's cooking. And I think that was probably the best compliment I've ever gotten in my life when it came to cooking. I can understand that, Kathy. I can. Now, I'd say my mom, she was not an experimental cook. She was a plain Jane cook, home cook. But there were some things that she could cook that to this day I still cannot do. She could make boxed macaroni and cheese. You know them back in the day when you could get the 10-cent boxes of mac and cheese. She could take that and make it taste like homemade. Don't know how she did it. I mean, I watched her do it. She used butter, she used milk, she used that orange powder stuff that come with the macaroni, and she used the macaroni. But I still don't understand how she did it. I've tried it. tried to do it the way I watched her do it, and I can't figure it out. Oh, thank you, Mama Linda. Yeah, Chris, from the time I can remember, 3, 4 years old, I can remember watching my granny and my mom cook in the kitchen. And so I've had that, you know, I guess love of cooking, love of watching cooks, watch them can, watch them cook. And then when I went to do it myself, it was like, all right, how do you do this? Hey, Johnny, I'll wave at you. Uh, and so I understand that, watching them cook in the kitchen, that to me, that is something special. Yes, that's it right there, Tina, right there. Take nothing and make a meal for a whole family. That was my granny. That's how she did. She could take ingredients. You could look at what she had and you're like, what are you going to make out of that? That's You don't have anything. And by the time she set the meal on the table, she had enough to feed 8 to 10, 12 people. Yeah, a lot of it came from the garden or whatever, but still to take literally nothing and make something. And Piggy's told y'all when we first got together and I'd make a meal for him, I had asked him, where'd that come from? Well, it was in the kitchen. Where? You know, it's just finding stuff and putting it together. So, yeah, I totally understand that. I do. My mom was the same way, which my mom was one of these, she kept a stock of canned goods. You'd have thought she owned a grocery store with all the canned goods we had. But yeah, she would take something. She said, "I really don't know what I'm going to fix," and then she would fix something. You're like, "Okay, where'd that come from?" And I've told people before that there were times when I was little. I never knew what pizza was until I was about, I want to say, 8 or 9 years old. Never had pizza. Never even had it at school until after that. Um, Now I didn't because my grandmother, uh, if she made biscuits, she made enough for the whole family. She didn't waste any. She would make it like hers always worked out, and she would make dumplings and things like that. But when she made biscuits, it was because she was making enough for the whole family, and there were several of us around the same age, so it wasn't just making one small biscuit for me or whatever. She made enough for everybody. Now, I never make the baby biscuits. I always take the leftover dough and use it as, um, which my granny, this is what my granny did. She would take any leftover dough and she'd stretch it out and she would put it at the end of the biscuits and she would say that that was to help them brown even. And it works. Hey, Aaron, this a Facebook commercial? No, not that I know of. Hey, Jethro, welcome in.
Right.
It's more like a family commercial talking about family and different things. Oh, man. Yeah, I remember a lot that my granny used to do. And, talking about the biscuit. No, so she used to make homemade dumplings. She would use uh, the all-purpose flour to make her dumplings. She wouldn't use the self-rising. I like the self-rising flour for my dumplings. And I remember she'd take one of those big old paper sacks she used to get at the grocery store and she'd open it up. And she'd flour it and she'd put her dough on there and she'd do what she's going to do with it and she'd roll it out. Then she'd take her a knife and she'd slice that dough and make it. Then she had a cookie sheet that she'd put her pieces of dumpling on and have it filled up. She'd go over to her stove where she had her broth going and chicken, and she'd drop them dumplings in there. And I can remember that. It's a little house on Allen's Prairie. And it's Christopher Robin. I seen a post on Facebook. That's why I said it. Oh, oh, okay. I didn't know there was posts on Facebook now. I understand, Jethro. I'm a week. Who knows what? And I still don't feel good. Oh gosh, Teresa, that had to be torture. Don't make fun of my morning show. Hey, that's cool right there, Teresa. I'd probably sick by then, but I I love pizza. Don't eat a lot of pizza anymore because that's another thing gives me severe heartburn. Can't eat it. Yeah, I can remember a lot of the good times like that. Remember helping my granny in the garden when I was old enough. Remember my mama cooking for a large, for the family. That's what a lot of what's going on with me right now, Jethro, is the heat. I know it, and I try to push through it. Yeah, Indiana, answer your phone. Uh, that's Chris. Is answer your phone. Okay. Oh, is it supposed to be Aaron answering the phone, or is it supposed to be Chris answering the phone? But yeah, I can remember a lot of the good times like that, and that's why I love cooking so much. Is because having watched my granny and watched my mom, my aunts. Oh gosh, Aaron, you crack me up. Oh. Well, y'all, I've gone about 15 minutes longer than I was going to. I'm gonna have to call it a night. Chris, he don't answer. I understand. I don't answer my phone either. But like I said, I was gonna cut it short at 7:30. It's getting close to 7:45 my time, and I'm gonna do what everybody's told me to do and rest. I'm gonna take it easy. Piggy will be with us tomorrow evening at 5:30 p.m. So hope y'all join us then. We love y'all, and I thank y'all for joining me and making my night. So y'all have a good evening.